Please give it up for Gil Rief.
Thank you guys very much. So, you guys still very excited about the Chilean miners? You feel a very euphoric moment? Chi 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 le le le. That was my personal motto before the whole thing. My favorite miner is the one who had a wife and a girlfriend waiting for him up there. You know, I can imagine the day they were rescuing the miners, where he'd be like, you know, you guys go ahead. I'll be fine down here. You know, just gonna keep mining a little. See you on Monday. You know, I didn't catch all the coverage of the miners because I have to watch my own around-the-clock coverage of these other miners known as the 7 Dwarfs from Snow White. Let me explain. I have a 2-year-old daughter, so basically that's my loop. It's worse than Nickelback. It's actually it's Snow White around the clock. If it weren't for the fact that I had a 2-year-old girl, my extensive knowledge of princesses would be pretty creepy. In fact, it still probably is. But what's weird about these dwarfs, and I've seen them a lot, these 7 dwarfs, they're miners, right? They work in this diamond mine, and they're hacking away all day long, hi-ho, 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 and they got diamonds the size of their head, you know, in a barrel. They got hundreds of them. I don't know why the hell they're working so hard. They could have retired off one of those. Just keep going at it. Yeah, there's lots of rough news out there, a lot of bad and environmental type things. For example, that whole sludge business in Hungary, they're really hurting right now. It's bad for them, but great for my new website, the Sludge Report. Got a lot of new hits this week. Have you guys seen the new the movie The Social Network? You caught that? Facebook? It's strange though, because I read a survey that actually Facebook has one of the lowest customer satisfaction rates. They're like at the bottom 5%. And when the CEO of Friendster heard about this, he was so overjoyed, he sent out a huge message bragging about how much more user-friendly his site was. Of course, he sent it from his Facebook account. Otherwise, no one would ever see it. But have you guys seen the new Jackass movie? Jackass in 3D, yeah? Are you in it? You seem really excited. I don't know if I need to see it in 3D, but I like those guys. I think that the Jackass guys would make great CIA operatives. Because if they're ever caught, there's no way you can interrogate those guys. There's like nothing you could do to them that they haven't already done to themselves for fun. They probably would give ideas to the captor like, hey, why don't you hook a car battery up to my nipples? We haven't done that since season 2. Lots in the news this week. I feel, you know, a lot of environmental things concern me. For one, you know, we're missing a lot of bees, apparently. We're still missing bees, and they figured out, it's not, they were blaming the cell phones at first, and now apparently it's some kind of weird, like, virus, some fungal thing. Just to give you an idea of how bad it's gotten, now that Beard of Bees guys can only do a soul patch. It's down to like 3 little bees over there. Another environmental thing that's gone wrong, apparently there's this UN panel on climate change, and they're getting blasted right now because they put out this 3,000-page report that had tons of mistakes in it, just littered with mistakes. The biggest mistake, wasting 3,000 pages of paper on an environmental report. It's usually a bad idea. You know who's getting hosed right now? I feel bad for the Kings of Leon, actually, because they're getting a lot of flack. Yeah, I feel bad because I guess they turned down Glee. They didn't want to be involved, so they're getting a lot of heat for that. But they already took a lot of crap earlier this year. I don't know if you heard about this, but a pigeon actually crapped into the mouth of the bass guitarist during the concert, and they had to cancel the whole concert, the whole thing. They walked off. And later, the pigeon apologized. Apparently, he said, from way up high, you confused the band for Creed. Or I should say Nickelback. It's probably a better reference for this show. So, no, this is great. There's some good news out there. I am excited about a few things. For one, they caught the Starbucks bomber. I don't know if you heard about this guy, but he blew up a Starbucks in Manhattan. He didn't do huge, nothing big. He blew out all the windows and the roof got destroyed. Fortunately, the Starbucks next door and the ones across the street, undamaged, so still safe. I don't know if you heard about this, but this 80-year-old grandmother found a 5-pound box of weed in her mailbox. Just somebody mistakenly sent it to her. On the plus side, her grandkids have already visited her 37 times this week. Now, I am not a drug smuggler, but if I was, I don't look like a drug smuggler. But this is what I would do. This is my advice for any aspiring drug dealer: is smuggle the drugs up your dog's ass, because that way, when that other drug-sniffing dog comes around and starts sniffing your dog, it's like, hey, they're hitting it off. They should get a room, really. You guys are great. Did I mention that? This is really, really bizarre. I heard that Ozzy Osbourne has his own blog, which blew my mind. I can just picture spell check just exploding. This guy has his own blog, and he has health advice, believe it or not. Ozzy giving health advice. And on his blog, he says the way he gets rid of athlete's foot is with cocaine. It takes $3,000, but he gets rid of his athlete's foot that way. But I would take any Ozzy health advice with a gram of coke, because pretty much cocaine's his cure-all for everything. Asthma, acne, even cocaine dependency. You name it, that is his ailment. But I'd like to leave you with this thought. I think that athlete's foot is the most complementary medical condition you possibly could have. Because you basically have fungus on your toes, and suddenly you're an athlete. I don't see the connection. I think a lot of guys would feel a lot better about gonorrhea if it was called stud crotch. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you very much.